Greetings, everyone. Welcome to CRWS, a broadcast discussing system of racism, white supremacy, particularly the area of politics. The reality that the system of white supremacy, racism, the racist man and racist woman and racist child who help to maintain and refine the system every day, they do not allow non-white people to have friends. And there's a excellent demonstration of that in this report we are going to be observing and discussing.
Authorities in both Pierce County and Thurston County, Washington, say that two teenagers have been arrested and are facing murder charges this week after they were accused of killing one of their mother's ex-boyfriends. According to reports, the situation began on August 31st when authorities in Thurston County announced that a 16-year-old boy named Gabriel Davies was missing. His disappearance was reported to police after he failed to show up for football practice at his high school in the city of Olympia. At around 5:30 p.m. that evening, his abandoned vehicle was found on the 16,100 block of Tilley Road South, and he was spotted walking in the area later that night. Police continued to issue appeals for information concerning his whereabouts, finally ending the next night, September 1st, when Gabriel was found walking alone. However, it wasn't long before the case would take a strange turn. Earlier that same morning, sometime after 9 a.m., police in Pierce County received a call from a man asking for a welfare check on a 51-year-old man named Daniel McCaw. The man on the phone explained that he was McCaw's supervisor and that he was concerned because the 51-year-old had not been to work in 4 days. When police arrived at McCaw's home in the city of Ording, they found one of the side doors to the property unlocked. A dog was also going in and out of the house through a doggy door. Shortly after entering the residence, investigators found McCaw dead inside. He had multiple stab wounds and a gunshot wound to the head. No weapons were found in the dead man's immediate vicinity, however, indicating that he was likely the victim of some kind of attack. Not long after, things started coming together, when authorities learned that McCaw had formerly dated the mother of the 16-year-old boy who had just gone missing and then reappeared under mysterious circumstances. Sure enough, when detectives reviewed the surveillance footage taken from McCaw's house, they discovered that a few nights previously, two skinny young-looking men had entered the property by climbing through the doggy door. They had left a short time later through the side door that was found unlocked, and were the only ones to go in or out of the residence during the time before and after McCaw's death. It was then that attention turned to Gabriel Davies. Soon after, authorities discovered the identity of the second teen allegedly involved in the crime, Gabriel's friend, 16-year-old Justin Yoon. Upon further investigation, police learned that on the night of the murder, Gabriel and Justin had been on a camping trip with family friends, but had disappeared from the campsite at around midnight. They hadn't returned until nearly 7 a.m. the following morning. The case only continued to get stranger when the fathers of both Gabriel and Justin contacted police, each suggesting that their son had been involved in the crime, but that the other teen had been the actual killer. Gabriel and his father also offered a motive behind the crime. According to them, sometime recently, Gabriel was approached by a group of McCaw's, quote, biker buddies, who threatened him and attacked him. They allegedly threatened further harm unless he agreed to steal something for them from McCaw's house. Gabriel reportedly told his friend Justin what had happened, and he agreed to help him break in. Gabriel and his father alleged that the break-in went wrong and that McCaw was killed in the process. In their version of events, Justin was the gunman. However, according to reports, Justin and his father have told a similar story, except with Gabriel as responsible for the actual killing. During questioning, Gabriel reportedly led police to the area where he and Justin allegedly disposed of their weapons following the crime, and several bags containing knives were recovered from the area. It's unclear if any guns were found. At the current time, it's difficult to know what to make of the situation. There are lots of bizarre pieces to the story and several details that have not been clarified or filled in. Chief among these are details concerning Gabriel's disappearance. While it's been alleged by police that he faked going missing in order to hide his involvement in the crime, it has not been reported what he actually told them at the time that he was found. It's also been reported that Gabriel's family life may have been extremely chaotic leading up to the time of the attack, and that there has been a years-long custody battle between his parents that at one point involved Daniel McCaw. It's not clear what, if any, relevance this might have to the murder case, however. Gabriel and Justin are now both facing multiple murder and burglary charges, as well as unlawful possession of a firearm. At the time of this recording, the situation is still developing.
So that's the report. As long as the system of racism, white supremacy exists, things like this should be expected and will continue. But just the whole fact that the system of white supremacy mostly functions on deception, lots of deception, and the victim of racism that we see on the right, Justin, with the suspiciously pink face mask on. He, I suspect, his entire existence has been deceived. His entire existence. He probably is not aware that he has been dominated and classified as what we know to be a nigger, a victim of racism, a person who is not going to have friends, especially friends that are helping him to solve problems, friends that are guaranteeing that he's not being mistreated. But what he did have was possibly a race soldier who convinced him that he was his so-called friend and then deceived him to possibly help him commit murder. Allegedly. Logically, looking at the logic, I suspect that is what happened. I suspect this victim of racism, Justin, I suspect he may have been masterfully deceived by Gabriel. I suspect Gabriel used his white power and his ability to practice racism in the form of deceit to evolve this victim of racism and a possible murder. And just the whole fact that he was able, just looking at what happened, you're on a camping trip, you disappear, out an alibi for I think it was like 7 hours or 10 hours, and then next thing you know, your stepfather is dead. Yeah, it's very, very suspicious. But then looking at who is being blamed for what happened, they're both saying that it was the other, like Justin is saying that Gabriel is the one who killed him, and Gabriel is saying that Justin is the one that killed him. So now you have that confusion and deception going on. And Gabriel, I suspect Gabriel understands the system of white supremacy. So even if Justin did not kill, Gabriel is white. He's going to get benefit of the doubt. That's white power. So Gabriel is saying that Justin, he's the one who killed my stepfather. It's just really terroristic, this whole situation. Super tragic also, but it's gonna keep happening until we solve this problem. And these are teenagers. This is they're not possibly 16 or maybe in their year olds. but at least Gabriel knows enough about the system to, kill a whole another person, allegedly. And there could be a number of reasons why this happens. We got to understand that the system of white supremacy doesn't really allow, I suspect, any harmony to exist. There's no thing as this like perfect family, even with suspected racists and their households. A lot of incorrect things happen, and possibly Gabriel experienced some incorrect things, but who knows? Very, very tragic that this victim of racism, a lot of his existence is going to be spent in greater confinement because of this. I suspect, whether or not he did it or not. And that is just why I say, and probably why the code says, these definitely do not have friends, are not allowed to have friends. And would a friend involve you in a murder, a robbery? Which are friends supposed to do things like this? We really have to rework our definition of friend to what the code, the June says what a friend is. A friend is a person who practices justice. White people, they're allowed friends because in their racist mindset, a friend is a person you can rely on. A friend is a person that can help you. And white people, they have a system of white supremacy. They have powerful racists who definitely can help them and that they can rely on. The non-white people do not have that. Do not have anyone who can help us to produce justice, to help us to solve this problem. We're going to have to do it ourselves. So we do not have friends. So this situation right here, this is a sort of tackiness and terroristic thing that can happen when you are deceived thinking you have friends. And I'll pause there and see if other hosts want to chime in on this report. Greetings, RP. No worry, we're all still learning. And because it's here, I wonder where they booked together. Where they brought in together. And they're at least in the same, police department. I'm pretty sure. Why does the victim of racism have a pink mask? And why does the suspected racist have a white mask? That's super suspicious to me. This could just be so-called random, but this is super, just something I'm probably not the only person that noticed. But yeah. And also we could definitely see the just the power dynamic, white over non-white, white people just being overall more prepared, more able to function in the system because Gabriel, he got his lawyer right. He already lawyered up. You know, did not we do not know, we did not see Justin with a lawyer yet. He may have one. I'm pretty sure his race unit, his victim unit, will be able to not his race unit, but his victim unit will be able to get one. But Gabriel already got his lawyer. Already knows how this game slash system functions. Oh, I'm going to see if folks want to chime in. If not, we'll see if the chat has anything to contribute.
Long custody.
We'll be out of here. Greetings, decoding events. He or she, I don't know if it's RP says it's light red. And light red. Light red. Can't imagine light red. That color. It sounds like it would be yeah, it sounds like it would be pink. Light red, it sounds like that color would be pink, but yeah, but I could be in there. But yeah, I've never this definitely looks like a pink mask to me, but don't think I'm in error. I'm pretty sure that's pink. Oh, joking. Okay. Interesting. I don't think this is a joking manner, but we all maintain in this system in our own ways. So the usual suspects find great fun and abusing victims. I agree. This is yeah, this is brutal. I really I'm going to follow this case. Hopefully they allow recording during the proceedings, the trial, so we can hear them say what happened. Because the victim, the person who was slain by these two, allegedly, he was stabbed a number of times and shot. So that's pretty brutal way to get eliminated. And again, these are teenagers, but the system does an excellent job of teaching all of us to value life less and teaches us how to, kill and to view killing as something that is, not really a big deal. So definitely not surprised that this happens. If I spent any number of time researching stuff like this, so-called friends killing someone together, we could spend hours talking about just that. So-called friends killing people, sometimes for fun. This seems like it may have been for some sort of revenge. Racist man, racist woman, racist child. Very big on revenge. Definitely, reminded of the movie Kill Bill, all about revenge. Anywho, yeah, this is all right. I'm going to pause and see if folks want to chime in.
I think you pretty much said everything that we all wanted to say. I think it's pretty well said.
The coding events, constructive action says no friends in the system, and that is correct. And yeah, but things are still coming to me. I'm still formulating my thoughts on this report and doing some more research. So just keep this up. Maybe something will come to our brain computers. Shout out to constructive action for the banner you see on the screen. Oh yeah, this case reminds me of a lot of the stuff we read, but particularly um, destruction of the Black Sith, and just how historically people who classify themselves as white have deceived other non-white people. They've called them Asians, and they deceive these people and to form a so-called alliance. And then this alliance will do what? Hey, go and harm people, particularly Black people, if we're talking about, when I'm referring to the destruction of Black Sith. And it seems like that tradition, that tactic of, hey, I'm gonna pretend to be this person's ally, this person's friend, so I could use them in the future and help me kill a guy. That may have happened with this case here. Or I could be in error, or I could just be connecting the wrong dots. You know, maybe it was a biker gang who beat up Gabriel that did this. It's possible. Probable. I don't know. Don't think so, but it's definitely possible. Definitely possible that, hey, just he went one huge misunderstanding, and none of these two did it. But following logic, they're both saying the other person did it. So yeah, I think a lot of stuff I've said on this broadcast may have some validity to it. And seeing the two pictures up here together, I wonder how many mug shots or court camera, our booking pictures we can see of people who are charged for the same crime, but they're wearing different color face masks. This has to be a little, this can't be random. But I'm gonna stop talking about it. Okay. All right, before we head out, I'm going to share a very constructive quote from, second, give me a moment to retrieve the book. Before we head out, I'm going to share
Wait a minute, real quick. You made an interesting point about the
situation.
face mask.
Moment. Book.
Verify, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think you have it playing elsewhere on your end.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute, real quick. You made it. Okay. What about now?
Loud and clear.
Oh, you made an interesting point about the different face masks, how the non-white, I guess, so-called Asian guy has on a pink one and the white guy has a white one on. I think there's something to that. Like, that's very interesting. They put a pink one on the non-white person.
Yeah, and that is even you saying that is making me think even more deeply about what this could mean. And I will share that when I come back really quickly and get in this book. Wow. All right, I've let me see, hold on. All right, so this is a quote from Ai Twei Arma. I always have an incredibly hard time saying his name, but super awesome scholar and hunter racist scientist. But his quote is, "A mind attacked and conquered is guided easily away from the path of its own soul." I really appreciate this quote, and definitely what we are looking at every single day when we see the incorrectness on planet Earth. We are seeing people who have been taken away from their soul path, and that could be understood as your purpose, what you were put on this planet to do. I promise you were not put on this planet to be a nigga or nigger. Promise you that, nor were you put on this planet to be mistreated in any way, shape, or form. But because we have been just mistreated for so long and confused for so long, we no longer understand what a purpose even is. But we shall maintain and solve this problem if we keep doing the work. So this case here, the pink face mask, they're going to greater confinement. That's where they're going to be for quite a while. No matter who killed who. So me being I know a tiny bit about so-called politics and greater confinement. Gabriel, he may be all right. He is white. He'll have to probably join a overt racist gang in there, and he'll maintain definitely better than Justin. Justin is going into greater confinement as a when he gets in there, he's going to be a so-called minority. There's going to be very few people who look like him in greater confinement. He's going to be in the greater confinement at the lowest. If we're looking at greater confinement as having like a hierarchy, he's going to be at the very bottom. And in some greater confinement, some prisons, them by people like Justin, they have no say in any sort of thing that happens in the rec room, and they are not treated the best. And it may be very possible that this pink mask is also indicating that his time in greater confinement, he may be faced with some anti-sexual violence. Possibly the race soldiers may be playing a little joke on them. Possibly. That's what I'm getting from that. And to put it bluntly, he may end up someone's bitch in there. That's what this pink mask could indicate, and that's likely to happen due to his racial classification and him going to greater confinement. Unless there's a high so-called Asian population of inmates there, he's not gonna have a lot of people who look like them, who's like him in there. He's still non-white, but in greater confinement, they have still divided and conquered. They still have it on race relations. The so-called racists, the blacks stick together, the so-called Mexicans stick together, and the so-called whites stick together. Even though the whites and the so-called Mexicans definitely a lot of areas work together to mistreat the blacks and whatnot. It's all very insane, but hey, we're in a system of white supremacy, to be expected. Yeah. And if only Justin and his race unit and his victim unit had the awareness and maybe will to not want to just continue the status quo and do what we think we're supposed to be doing, like I don't know, getting a good job, hanging out with white people, having white friends, instead of doing the status quo nonsense, maybe working to solve their race problem, studying white people, studying the system in order to counter the system, replace it with a system of justice. If they had been doing that, I'm pretty sure this would not have happened. But until we get an effective number of non-white people who are choosing to no longer participate in a lot of the incorrect antics racists have convinced us that we should be doing, i.e. going to bars with them, i.e. calling them our friends, thinking that they can be our family members, thinking that they love us. No, until that happens, we gonna keep seeing this But when an affected number of people start to understand what's been done to us, then slowly but surely these things will end. They will cease to happen. And then white people are going to have to make that choice. But to be super precise, the white people who believe and practice racism, white supremacy, they're going to have to make the choice to kill all the non-white people or to help us to produce a system of justice. And I am fine with either choice. I prefer justice. But if they choose to kill us all, we should all okay. Be in the understandings that, you know, it's way better than continuing this torturous cycle that they have us in of retarding us, raping us, then killing us. Let's just go to the, you know, we're not gonna go out in a fight. I'm pretty sure that's, you know, we're not gonna go out in a fight. But unfortunately, we do not have the weaponry that whites have. So we're probably not going to be able to win a direct battle with them. But hey, way better than continuing the system of race and white supremacy. Way better. We do not come to planet Earth to be subjected to anyone, you know, nor do animals, nor do plants. Plants are not on this planet to be, you know, to be subjected to all the disgusting, vile things that occur on this planet. You know, animals should also not be subjected to the things that they're just subjected to. But because we have a really incorrect group of people controlling the whole planet, and they are attempting to do this with the whole universe, because we have that, the whole planet is out of whack. So produce justice, go to producejustice.com so we can end the deception once and for all. Because yeah, either I am very crazy, I'm very insane. I've been unfortunately tragically made that way. But this pink mask, this can't be a coincidence. And I can't stop thinking about it. It just, but we gotta understand, or I have to understand that, yes, that pink mask is there to mock you. You know, it's there because they're mistreating you. This is a really slick joke right here. All right. So let me see the chat. RP says, I feel sorry for that victim. That's, yeah, he's worthy of great pity, as we all are. We all have been deceived by racist men and racist women and racist child. We haven't been deceived to the manner where we are directly killing a person, allegedly. Will he be protected from them, from decoding events? I would say it's unlikely unless it's other victims of racism protecting him. And they're not going to do that for free either, unfortunately. Decoding event. This is why we need to replace the system of mistreatment with the system of justice. Yes. Ma'am, everyone should go to producejustice.com. Everyone should go to his website. Make sure you have this. And don't just buy it and use it as a decoration. Buy it, study it, apply it. Practice codify language. If you're a victim of racism, prisoner of war, you can't at the same time be a man or a woman. So let's not lie to ourselves about that. ProduceJustice.com. The problem will only be solved when enough of us have attempted counter racism, have attempted to apply counter racist logic to our thought, speech, and behavior. All right. Would anyone like to share a word, or is it time to wrap up? Alrighty. Thank you, RP Decoding Events and What's the Code for participating in the chat. Please like, comment, and share this information if you thought it was of constructive value. Please promote counter racist logic. Please promote the reason we are here, our purpose, to produce a system of justice, to guarantee that no one is allowed to be mistreated, and that people who need help the most receive constructive help. That's what we're on this planet for. No one should be mistreated. No one should be so-called homeless, so-called suffering from trauma. We can solve all of this. Sound bite.
You are alive.
No. I exist.